In Assumption Parish schools, we have much to be proud of. We have great people who care about our students, who want the best for them.
We do what we do for our students.
That's my heart, you know. I want to give back to where I got my education. I want to educate those in the same system that I was educated in.
It's amazing to give back and to know that like what they taught me while I was here, I'm allowed to teach to my students that I have now, and then hopefully just have this big cycle of people giving back to our community and just growing our community and this family that we have here.
Anytime we can grow something in Assumption Parish, I mean, everybody's going to be in benefit for it.
To grow our district though, we knew we had to get focused and we had to make real changes. That's why we began implementing our strategic plan last school year to help us strengthen and improve our system. And we really targeted some areas where there were bigger gaps.
A lot of times in education, we're kind of spinning our wheels. We're constantly trying to make things better. We have hundreds of students that we're trying to grow. We're trying to grow our teachers, but we needed a strategic structure to help us do that.
We also began to look at our leadership team meetings in a more cyclical way. Like we find a problem, we implement some strategies to help solve that problem, and then we adjust and reflect on how we can either improve or implement that practice permanently across our whole school.
Changes in curriculum and changes in students is just the way the students learn, and we definitely need to always be abreast of changes and best practices.
In every career, you expect people to continue to grow. So as leaders, we have to figure out what's going to be the next best thing we can do for our teachers to help them grow in capacity.
The strategic plan was very valuable last year as a starting point of where we needed to move the district. It gave us a plan of action to follow through with and to stay focused. We introduced instructional leadership teams across the district. Teachers had buy-in and got to sit with their leaders and decide what was best for their schools. We focused on our kindergarten to second grade teachers in ELA so that they could really deepen their understanding of unpacking the standards and internalizing lessons so that they could deliver more quality instruction to students.
The focus, though, of our leadership teams has shifted in the past school year more towards helping to build the capacity of our staff on campus and building their capacity through, I guess, a student lens.
The strategies that we look at with like annotating our lesson plans and making sure that every single detail in those lesson plans matter.
They taught us how to dive deeper into our curriculum and lessons and kind of gave us questions that would guide us.
As teachers, we always focus on our goals, our objectives of the standards that we have to teach. But this year we dived more into the standards and what does it really mean, and focusing on the success criteria, making sure that the kids take ownership in what we're learning and that they understand.
When that aha moment happens in the student themselves, when they realize that yes, me owning my education, me knowing that my education is my way to wherever I want to be and wherever I want to go. Once that aha moment happens for them, then they're more inclined, and then it's not like pulling teeth.
I see more of the students taking ownership of their learning. They can look at it and say, okay, I'm going to be doing this. I can do this, I can't do this. Instead of just having a student sitting there and not really knowing what is expected of them.
It gives them the academic motivation to say, I actually know the reason why I'm learning this material.
When we made the shift to standards-based instruction, the level of rigor in the expectations we have on our kids went way up. And it is a battle every day to understand the standards as a teacher, to understand them as a leader, to support the teachers, and then how do we get these kids who are from one spectrum to another to meet proficiency on that standard.
To get real results, we had to find a better way to do our job. And while that's not always easy, it's necessary. And when we share a common goal, it's doable.
At the beginning of the year, we only saw maybe 30% of our teachers were doing standards and objectives the way they should have been done. And towards the end of the year, we were hitting 80% of the teachers being able to accomplish that standards and objectives.
I think because it came from our peers, there was more buy-in. we owned it.
We worked out some of the kinks of year one, and we know where some of the support needs to be added in. The process is fabulous, and it's easy to follow, and it is proven that it will give good results.
And I would like every teacher to know that what we're doing matters here, and what we're doing is important to all of our students and subs.
Attitude plays a huge part in establishing a growth mindset. If we're going to move students, then we as individuals, as educators, need to be willing to grow.
First and foremost, it really does help you with your confidence. If you really know your curriculum and you really know what it is that your main goal is, it's going to 100% help you in the long run in your classroom.
We've had really early on teachers, new teachers, that look like veteran teachers now because they were able to take care, do these steps that we implemented. And, you can see leaps and bounds worth of growth.
I can tell my students I'm still learning too. It's not just them. I'm learning how to make them better learners by continuing to do ongoing learning on my own and with my team members across the district and in my school.
Was a little struggle at first because it is so deep diving into it, but it does help in the classroom, and I see definitely the benefits of it.
We've already seen an increase in our weekly assessments that we give, as well as we saw an increase in our benchmark. So we know that the strategies are working.
Get on the train because we're moving in a great direction. We're moving in a direction that's going to grow our kids and that's going to make our kids know that they are growing.
As we start this new school year, we remain committed to an assumption for all mindset to reach every student every day. And let's never forget the why behind our efforts. It's because Assumption Parish students matter.